Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Haggett Hill. What we're doing today is the folks over at YesWelder sent me this Cut-65 DS plasma cutter to try out. I'm going to be using it for some upcoming projects on a trailer rebuild and different things, but I've always wanted a plasma cutter. I've got one now, so I've got all the parts here. I'll show it to you. This is not going to be a review video today. We're just getting it set up and ready to work. So you watch along as we check things out here today. So I'll give you a quick little look at it. Of course, we won't plug it in yet, but it's got an all-digital screen. We'll do that when we actually review it. It's a little compact unit. It's about the same size as my YesWelder Flux 135 compact welder. It does flux core, and it also does stick. Then on the back, it's got a little air filter here, water separator. Got a little thing to drain the water out of it, and here's how you adjust the flow. So what we're going to do, I got to see what it takes to put this all together to get some air on there. I'm going to set up a dedicated cart one of these days with both welders on it, and I'll probably come up with a better air drying system. But in the meantime, I know it's got this filter here. I wanted a little bit extra one. So let me dig through the box here and find it. I found this one off of Amazon. And it's just a water separating fuel filter. Excuse me, it's a water separating air filter. But I needed some different connections to be able to hook it onto here. Actually, I'm going to hook it onto this flexible hose because I don't want this sticking way out there. And I'm going to set it on my cart. But what we need to do, you see the airflow goes this way. So I need to put that on there. So this needs to screw in here like this. I'm just going to kind of show you. If I was going to mount it just right on the back, that would go on there. This would go on the bottom. This would plug into this one. And then your air hose would plug into that. But what I actually want to do is use these flexible line and put my filter down here somewhere else. So we got to get these put on there. Here's my plan. I'm going to put this on here. That'll go in here. On this end, I'll put one of these. This will plug into here, and then my air hose will plug onto that. This will lay on top of my cart. You think that'll work? I think it will. So let's get these put on like they need to be. Little thread tape on there. This is a swivel hose. I think it'll work out all right. Like I said, whenever I build my welding cart to hold everything, I'm going to mount a different kind of filter system on it to make it a little bit better, more permanent mount. But this is just temporary. Probably not the best setup, but we're going to give it a whirl anyway. That already has some sealant on that one. And I've got some Teflon tape on here, but where I tried it the other day, but it didn't have the right parts. I'm going to put this more out of Teflon tape. We'll have to go get some more out of my toolbox. I'll be right back. Back and got it all taped up. So there's kind of what it's going to look like. I'll get my wrench and tighten all these up here in just a minute. So this will plug into the back of here. This will plug into this way. Airflow going that way, then my compressor will plug into there. So let me go tighten these up off camera, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we've got it all put together, we've got it all tightened down. Like I said, this just clips onto the back of the unit here. This little filter will go on here, and then I've got some flexibility here. My air hose will go in here. So what they've sent with this thing, it's got an adapter if you want to use it on 120. So this will plug into a 120 extension cord, and then this will plug in here. My understanding that it'll run up, this is 65 watts, it'll run up to like 35 watts on 110. If you want higher, you got to get your 220 plug out. But I'm going to work on that. I've got a 220 plug over there that I'm running for a dryer. I'm just going to have to get an adapter, and I'm probably going to run a dedicated circuit for it one of these days. This is the consumables. It's already got the consumable tip in for, my understanding, this is for regular cutting. It's in there. And then it comes with an extra set of consumable tips. This would be for gouging. It's got the guide, it's got the electrode, and it's got the tip. I'll have to buy a few more of those. This little fitting is for the airline with the kit. They sent this airline if you wanted to hook it up that way, and then the adapter there, but I'm using these quick connects. So let's see what else we got. Here's our cutter tip. Got a protective sleeve on here. We'll take that off. We're going to go ahead and hook this up. We may actually get to do some cutting this afternoon. It just plugs right in. No way to mess that up. Screws in. Alright, so we got that in there. Got a little safety catch on here. And then here's the electrode. Grounding cable, sorry. It's pretty heavy duty. And it just plugs right in there as well. That's all there is to it. Very similar to my YesWelder welder. What do you say we try this out? Alright, I think I've got everything hooked up. Let's see where I can see where the power button is. Okay. There we go. Alright. So from what I understand, when you're hooked up to when you're hooked up to 120, it'll only go up to 45 amps. So it recognizes that, and it already does that for you. So 45 amps is all I'm going to get out of it when I'm hooked up to 120. When I get my 240 outlet done, then we'll go from there. So cut mode, you can see right now it's on plate cutting. There it's on, I can't read it. Let me go get my glasses. The next one is grid cutting, so you can cut grid material with it. Gouging, so if you're taking out old welds, and then marking. Steps mode, 2T and 4T. It's on 2T right now. From what I understand, is 2T, when you pull the trigger, it'll fire, it'll arc. When you let off, it stops. 4T, you pull the trigger, and it keeps going till you pull the trigger again. Let's see what that's okay. Units of measurement, PSI or bars. We're going to leave it on PSI. Post flow, do 10 seconds. That's on your compressor. You can adjust this. Let's just put it up for 20 seconds just for fun. And it's 45 amps. Should be what the power is coming in, 121 right now. All right. Well, let's see if we can find something to cut and give it a whirl. Alright, so I'm cutting some really thin stuff, so I've already adjusted my amp down to 40, which I found a chart online. I'm going to try to adjust my PSI up to about 55. That looks close enough. So I'm just going to be cutting some junky stuff I got here. But I'm going to clean it up just enough to get a good ground on it. There's some kind of thin metally stuff that I got from off of some old tractor shipping crates. We'll give that a whirl. Now I'm going to slip on an old pair of overalls because I got on a pair of shorts and I don't want to burn my legs. Alright, the machine is on. Let's try this yucky stuff first. This tubey stuff. I'm just going to try to cut a little bit of that off right there. Going to have to use my welding helmet. They make some glasses with the proper shade in it, but we're going to try this. This is all I have for right now. The machine's on, the air compressor's on. Let's see what we can do. How about that? Well, it looks like it cuts. Let's try something a little bit thicker. This is about 1/16 inch. Those are ugly cuts. Yeah, my compressor's not keeping up. We're going to have to get a bigger compressor for this. But it does cut.
Okay, I've hooked it up to my bigger compressor. Let's see how this works.
Well, I know that it works. I may need a bigger compressor. All right, well now we're going to see if we can cut a hole in this. This is about 1/2 to 3/8 steel. I may not be able to cut it since I don't have my 220. This is 3/8. These are going to be some brackets for when I do my trailer rebuild project. And that's a 1-inch hole, or thereabouts. Let's see what we can do with it. I'm not sure, but let's give it a try.
Well, as you all can see, I need a whole lot more practice trying to freehand these cuts with the plasma cutter. I did discover, trying to cut this 3/8, that I had my amp set too high for the 120 setting. I should have turned it down just a little bit more, but I think once I get my 220 hooked up, that I could cut this thicker stuff with ease once I learn how to make a better hole. The issue I was having is whenever this would cycle and it'd pull a lot of juice, it would kick out. So I wasn't getting enough juice, so I needed to have either turn down the amps and try to go just a little bit slower, or have it hooked up to 220. So I'm going to start working on solutions to get some 220.
Let's try it again on some thinner stuff.
I did try it out the next day when I was working on my trailer ramp project, and I had it turned down to about 40 amps, and it worked much better, and I didn't have any issues. I want to thank the folks at YesWelder for sending this over. We'll be using it for some projects in the near future. If you decide you need one of these, you can check out the affiliate link in the description below. Stop back by and see us here on Haggett Hill, and I'll be using this cutter in some projects coming up. So you come back and see us. Be sure to like and subscribe and hype this video, and may God bless you and your family.